And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gem of Crypto, episode 738. Today is Wednesday, June 9th, 2021, and I'm King.
I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
Today's top stories: bill to make Bitcoin legal tender passes in El Salvador, Miami Coin and voting with your tokens. After Googling it, CFTC boss says DeFi is a bad idea and probably illegal. Elon Musk appears to responds to anonymous Bitcoin threats with crying laughing emoji. And I should have bought more Bitcoin, says billionaire investor on when it comes to Bitcoin. But of course, first and foremost, what's going on with those prices?
Oh yeah, let's take a look at our prices for today. Bitcoin coming in at $35,255, up 9% today. Ethereum at $2,543, up 4.8%. Binance Coin at $360, up 6.3%. Cardano at 157 is up 6% as well. Dogecoin at 32 cents, up 2.9% today. XRP at 86 cents, up 3.6%. Polkadot at 21.88 is up 5.2%. And last but not least, Uniswap at 24.09 is up 6.6%. So, and right outside the top 10, Solana is doing this thing at $43, up 19.6%. Just wanted to point that out because I'm pretty sure it'll be in the top 10 soon. So one of the coins we talked about before on Talk Shop Live. Also, a lot of the coins in the bottom 8, 9, 10 have been swapping out. So wouldn't be surprised to see it enter that top 10.
All right, get some quick shout outs going on. Miriam, Alexis, Blues Lover, Fanteezy, Tasha, JP, Sue, Will, Erica K, DM, Riki, Timothy Grigsby, Black Marco Polo, Too Much for You, okay. Hondos, Price, BK, keep on taking bits. What's up, Carmelo, Alec G, Chemo and Crypto, Zuri, I'm Maz, DC, good morning, all. I see you are already entering, smashing that like and share. Make sure you pay that like tax. For the small 30% that hasn't paid that like tax, just go ahead and smash that thumbs up video so when we get started. And Larry said, XRP Army, woo! Listen, I saw you all in the comment section yesterday. The XRP Army is alive and well. But as I always say, don't text me about it. Let's not chat about it. Come on live and let's talk about it on Friday. So for all those XRP folks who disagree with us yesterday, who thinks that you all can scale, even though you have to create these federated side chains that will be for smart contracts, among other things. But I don't know what's going on with that project. It used to be a good project, I heard, but I don't know. You all call in Friday and let us know what you think about that project.
It was garbage from the beginning. They just added more garbage beside it. They added more trash cans.
All right, 48 hours ago, the news came up as a possibility, is now completely official. We saw the price of Bitcoin rebound on this news, but not by much, which says a lot. It makes it seem like these small countries are dropping the bucket when it comes to market cap, at least initially. But bill to make Bitcoin legal tender officially passes in El Salvador. Want to give a hand clap to El Salvador for moving the needle forward on this. I mean, they had 48 hours, it looks like, to change their mind. Not even Kamala Harris can make them change their mind by telling them to keep their people exactly where they're at next door. But President Nayib Bukele Bitcoin law was passed in the Salvadorian Congress tonight. I'm assuming this is from last night. Again, the president of El Salvador's bill to make Bitcoin legal tender in El Salvador passed Congress with a super majority. I actually like that word. I never heard super majority. With a super majority just before 6 a.m. And Twitter Spaces conversation that began just after 5 a.m. UTC with 22,000 listeners. The president said he would sign off on this historic law later on in the night or first thing tomorrow. It goes into effect immediately. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This isn't no, hey, in 2 years in 2022, we'll be ready to launch this after this study. Hey, he was like, hey, this shit start tonight. He said clarifying the government will allow 90 days for the infrastructure to be put in place. Again, here's his actual tweet. With laser eyes, the hashtag Bitcoin law has been approved by a supermajority in the Salvadorian Congress, 62 out of 84 votes. History, people, it is official. Bitcoin is legal tender in a country. But hey, it'll only happen in one country and then it'll go away. This is just the beginning of the end, right?
It's sad, right? Oh, man, we made it. I mean, we've been saying before, we already won the fight. We're just trying to figure out the details of how we're going to move forward. Because, again, Now that a country is accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, much like it says here, they have to take it by law. For example, if you go to Mexico, they have to take your pesos. Just like in the US, they have to take your dollars. So it's great to see that this is legal tender because it has a lot of different implications. For one, no more capital gains. You can't pay capital gains on a legal tender. So this is why a lot of countries are scrambling. Also, too, if it's legal tender, if you read their bullet points that they have there, one of the biggest points is that when they accept Bitcoin, that the infrastructure to accept it has to be provided. So you're going to see people accepting Bitcoin because it's easier.
Looks like he froze out there. There we go.
It's 3 pages, people. It's not 70 pages of malarkey most of our Congress would do, and then 2 years of lobbying and going back and forth. It's 3 pages. It's like, look, we do this, we do this. I mean, like, read it. That is the obligation of the state to facilitate financial inclusion of its citizens in order to better guarantee rights. Simple, people. Why can't we do that? So shout out to El Salvador. 0 capital gains. I'm sure there are some people who have, held back from Bitcoin, but this is, I mean, we won. This is crazy to see. 8 years. We've been talking about this for years. There's going to be a country that accepts it, in the first is El Salvador. Shout out to them.
Yeah, and again, I do like how efficient this was done. I mean, literally, they talked about it a week ago. They and I mean, to be fair, I'm sure they've done their research, people. It's not like an entire government just woke up one week. All right, we're gonna do it next week. We did it. Like, I'm quite sure they did their homework. But my point is, they woke up and they announced the plan. They came back a week later with the plan, and then 2 days later, not even 2 days, really a day and a half, he was like, "Hey, I'm signing that tonight or in the morning. I just got to take care of a couple of last minute things. I'll be back at home. I'm signing the paper." And boom, is in Congress, is on the show, is legal, it's 3-page document, as you mentioned. And this is what I would say. People, don't forget, before today, El Salvador was not mentioned in the news, right? Like, they were not in the mainstream news. They were alive and well. They didn't have any suicidal tendencies. Let's just remember that. They weren't picking fights with the US. Like, remember these things, because I can pretty much guarantee you, but within the next 2 to 3 months after the US really wraps their head around it, and when I say wrap their head around it, I mean mission plan and execute, i.e. down things that are going to go down. Like, yeah, El Salvador is about to be in the news in another 3 to 6 months, and it's going to be like they are the worst people on the planet. I guarantee you. Wait and watch until the FUD happens and comes. I wouldn't be surprised that president got caught with some child porno on his laptops. Like, it's about to get real. They about to get my boy up out of here. This is not good for the establishment or central bankers. And it's not a joke. It's not a conspiracy theory. El Salvador is literally about to mess up a multi-billion-dollar bag, if not $1 trillion bag, for many governments and companies around the world. It's not about to be a joke. Like, literally, competition is about to come at them from every direction. So again, El Salvador is alive and well. They haven't been in the mainstream news yet. Let's keep watching and see how quiet it is down there. Already, again, we got the report from Kamala Harris out the blue, straight up jet streaming down to South America to say, "Hey, y'all stop bringing y'all asses up here." Well, hey, what we said was before we knew y'all was playing with Bitcoin. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. Shout out to Wendy Nichols. Thank you for the tip. Wendy, thanks I meant to actually say it. Thanks for pointing out. Congrats on 15,000 subs. Warriors, we need help to 10 times these subs. That is right. We are on the road to 25. Let's jump to 25, and then we'll worry about the next step after that. Let's see. Larry, FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That is what is considered the articles. Thanks, Ryan, for putting that up there. That has to do with some of the articles and news and media that comes out about Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrency spaces where it is inaccurate, factually incorrect, but they still throw it out there to try to check some people out. E-Rock, I'm glad you pointed that out. I'm actually working on that already. I can't remember. So I saw something yesterday with somebody mentioning it on, I can't remember where, but I was like, you know what? We do need to get it from the horse's mouth. So yes, working on that Reggie Middleton, Veritasium interview as well. That would definitely be pretty cool to get in here, especially to hear about his experience from a regulatory standpoint. So yes, on that as well. All right, Miami Coin and voting with your token. So this article features Bitcoin Zaya on the video. So tell us about what's going on in Miami.
Oh man, so Patrick Stanley has a new project to provide a way for people to reward by being rewarded by innovative cities. This story is funny because yes, somehow the video of me got up there from Community Crypto, but our last show was in Miami during the Miami conference, and we discussed with the commissioner how different ways that they can affect the community. So in the shadow of El Salvador accepting Bitcoin's legal tender, Miami is getting its own coin. Miami coin, built on City Coins, which is built on Stacks, which is built adjacent to Bitcoin, is a new way for a city to raise funds. And this is one of the things that we discussed. What are some of the creative ways they could raise funds or that they could attract people to the city? And one of the ideas was coin for the city. The idea is pretty simple. You contribute crypto to a city's wallet that the city could then receive as a kind of charitable donation. Whatever money you donate earns a yield. And for most cities, as the city increases its production, as they continue going, staking your money or using your money into that will gain you profit over time. So
all right, we're losing him again. Let's see if he comes back. There it is. All right.
There he goes. Let's see. Let me here. Balaji. Let me see if I can get this right. Balaji Srinivasan. Yep. So these are some of the people working on the project. And of course, Mayor Suarez, kudos to him, because he's basically doing what El Salvador is doing, just on a smaller scale. He's basically insulating his city. Miami is lit right now. Everybody's moving there. So shout out to them with their different city coins. And again, I think this is going to pick up other places. Evanston, Illinois, they have a crypto for reparations for people who got locked up for marijuana. Also out in Berkeley, California, they have a community coin that they're creating as well. I think this is just one in a long line of coins that will come out for different cities.
E-Rock, thank you for that tip. So outstanding on the Reggie interview progress. Appreciate it. We'll try to get him on for sure. And yeah, this is crazy. I mean, you can see here, people, whatever money is donated to a city it's to keep. A press release notes if Miami hashtag pick up the bag. It could put this windfall to new public spaces, improvements to infrastructure, hosting city events, recruiting startups, and more people. The fact that governments don't want to accept Bitcoin as charitable donations says everything you need to say about its power. Like, for one, I hate that I had to keep saying this, but the government works for the people. They will accept anything of value we give to them. If we give them a whole ton of bananas, as Mark Cuban once said, bananas are worth more than Bitcoin. And we were to offload trucks of bananas on the government to say, hey, this is what we want to use as tender or as trade or whatever, then that's what the hell they're going to do, because they work for us, people. Stop letting these people who get together in these private rooms dictate to us what we're going to do with our money, power, and resources. We dictate to them. So again, I'm glad Miami's pointing this out, that, hey, all we have to actually do is just hashtag pick up the bag, just start actually using crypto, have people donate with crypto, and we can use that in and of itself to stake or do different things with, and to see how it can actually help the city's finances. And they think it will help the city's finances. I think it will too. Again, made simple, but for whatever reason, the government wants to make this even harder. I would like to say, I don't know why, but we all know the truth. We know the real reasons. Let's see. Mr. Wills, said, don't trust Mayor Suarez. He's corrupt just like his daddy. That's not good, Mr. Wills.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is, in a long line of politicians, that's what happens, bro. That's what they do. You may not trust them, you may not like them. We just go off of what they do. What have they done? He's turned into a Bitcoin city. That's all I like. Everything else, I could care less.
Yeah, that is actually true. He's doing it, people. So we gotta give him props on that. Let's see. Black Marco Polo said, hopefully Colombia. Yes, if Colombia turns up people. All right, listen, if Colombia does it, I got connections in Colombia already. That is definitely a move to make. I hope they do it. That would be pretty dope. Cassie Nelson said, our fake government just trying to be the bully, as we know people are separating themselves. They're talking about Venezuela. If Venezuela does the same thing as El Salvador, says Todd, then you would see the imperialism ramp the F up, for sure, the imperialism effery, for sure. Cassie said the pipeline hack is sure looking more suspicious. As you look into it, I'm thinking to put out more fear. Oh, of course, people. And yes, brother, truth be told, said they don't want other people at the top, so they'll sabotage us at every chance. You already see it, people. I mean, that's what it is. All right, really quick, let's go ahead and smash that like tax. It's about 100 live people watching right now who haven't hit that thumb. Go ahead and hit that thumb for that likes. There we go, that quick. A couple more people. Smash that like and share the video so we can get the algorithm popping, and so we can talk about why DeFi may officially become illegal. People, listen, not even a week or two of these stories and buzzwords and all this other stuff floating. Like literally, it's been 3 different times on videos I've broken it down with the buzzwords and the narrative, switching it to hosted and unhosted wallets, about what exchanges can offer it, who should be allowed to do anything on DeFi credit scores. We have been talking about this. That was actually the trend of the week. I did crypto versus I think DeFi or versus crypto, DeFi versus regulators. I did last week. But again, we are seeing it happen right in front of us. They're trying to hijack the DeFi narrative and the landscape as we know it. After Googling it, CFTC boss says it is a bad idea and probably illegal. Look, probably illegal. I love it. CFTC Commissioner Dan M. First of all, this probably illegal part. Again, these people work for us. These hall monitors are literally looking at our way of life. Everything you do as an American citizen, they're looking at, and things like this, they're saying, hey, this is brand new. I don't know much about it, nor is there much information out about it, but it's probably illegal. Like, what type of stance is that to take? Like,
that's how you scare people. Like, oh, I don't know if you could do it, but it's probably illegal, so don't. Like, what the fuck? Like,
it's literally non-violent. No one's physically getting hurt. No one's getting forced. There's no sex crime going on here. There's no drugs happening. Like, when you're talking about actual morality, ethical behavior, and criminal behavior, you're talking about a software protocol online. You download it, and you have our regulators saying, probably illegal. Like, people, this is getting to insane levels. Like, this is getting insane. But again, this is CFTC Commissioner Dan M. Berkovitz. And hey, you want to talk about illegal? I don't like that last name as a regulator. Let's do that. Let's where you from, buddy? Where you from? How long you lived in it? How long you live where you live at? We want to play this game? Let's play this game. Ain't no fun when Rabbit got to go.
You might be an American, but you're probably illegal.
Berkovitz. Whoa.
Berkovitz, Auschwitz. What?
Hey, listen. Hey, depending on where you're at in the world, many things are legal and illegal. Let's just throw that out there. All right, CFTC Commissioner Dan M. Berkovitz has called for a crackdown on unregulated DeFi derivatives platforms. I wonder why, right? Again, this is the commissioner of the Commodity Futures and Trading Commission. He believes that DeFi derivatives platforms may contravene the Commodity Exchange Act. Another act, if you're anything like me, as soon as I saw it this morning, I was like, I got to look this up. But as I was about to look it up, I also realized, well, first let's get this quote. Not only do I think that unlicensed DeFi markets for derivative instruments are a bad idea, but I also do not see how they are legal under the CEA. Snitch life is the best life for this guy. But there's one thing about the CEA he's talking about. Where is it? It was a great quote. Essentially, he's trying to, here he is. This is what I like to see. He argued that intermediaries such as banks, exchanges, I love how he actually put exchanges in here. People, that's how powerful exchanges are now, right? It used to be banks, future commission merchants, payment clearing facilities, and asset managers. Now he's actually including exchanges, which to me is a very important part of the narrative, because he's saying, hey, they're part of us now. Exchanges, they're with the club. They're with the club right now. They're with the gang right now. Like, exchanges are these derivative platforms. They're not. So he said all these things have developed a banking and finance model over 200 to 300 years that reliably support financial markets and the investing public. I am glad he actually put that out there, because Berkovitz, this is exactly why we want DeFi platforms, because the banking and all these other structures, even though you mentioned over 200 to 300 years, and exchanges are only 10 years old max. So for you to include exchanges in this 200 to 300 year model is a just lie. It's an outright lie, but whatever. In general, that's the problem. No one likes your 200 to 300 year model. You haven't included the majority of the population. You haven't included the disenfranchised parts of the population. You haven't included minority. I mean, literally in the United States, Black people in the United States really didn't join the banking structure and industry until like the late 70s, which is why it was so much redlining still going on. You couldn't buy houses in certain neighborhoods. You couldn't get a bank loan. You couldn't get a business bank loan until about the 90s or so forth. So in the US, this is still relatively new. We're talking about 50 to 60 years of Blacks in the US be able to do things with banks. Yet you're also arguing that, hey, we should do it how we've been doing the last 200 to 300 years. No, it's actually inflammatory comments like this that make me want to go left field and say, tar and feather, not molasses, like beat his ass when he walks out of his office, since he's trying to go back to 300 years ago and do business like that. Like, hell to the no. There is no going back 300 years ago doing business like we want to do. There isn't even a thought of it. If I think there's going to be regulators talking about doing business how we did 200 to 300 years ago, I'm personally going to take that L. I'm going to catch you coming out of your office, and that swirly is happening on spot. I'm bringing a big-ass bucket filled up with dirty water. I'm going to have somebody on the street hold it, and I'm going to commission this swirly on site. That's what we're going to commission out here, talking about 200 to 300 years ago. Like, is this real? They really brought up something from 200 to 300 years ago?
Oh, yeah. I mean, and Berkovitz, what's great about this story is the fact that his research came from a wiki link.
I didn't even point that part out. I forgot all about that.
How weak is your research when the best you can do is Google a Wikipedia link? That's what 12-year-olds do when they have to write a paper. They Google it, Wikipedia comes up first, they click on it, and they just copy and paste everything they see there and edit it. That's basically what he did. He used a Google search, and that's how he found his definition of DeFi. Trust me, Berkovitz, maybe he needs to take our masterclass because he that's all he has. And of course, this is like when they were criticizing Bitcoin. Oh yeah, I Googled it. Looks like it's a scam. And that was it. They didn't have any other explanation. It looks like it's illegal. Again, all of the CEA and the CFTC and the FBI and the IRS and the SEC and the FEC, every single acronym that you can think of, they're all going to have to change the way that they do business, the way that they regulate, because you can't invent something with the intention of regulation. Like, you don't, that's not what innovation does. You just create it and then you adhere to laws later. This guy is going to be wrong in the future. I can't wait to come back to the story and laugh because of course he would say DeFi is probably illegal because he hasn't researched it. All he's done is a Wikipedia link. And these are the people that we trust with our taxes to lead us. This is why I say they're incompetent and we should stop listening to them. So Berkovitz, yeah, we should have gave him the dino of the day because good gracious.
I'm gonna give him that roar in a second.
This trashest research I've seen.
Was that?
This is the most trash research I've ever seen.
Like, yeah. Didn't even tweet. I love this tweet, Adam. It says, I'm not sure which supporters of DeFi you spoke with, but the core value proposition is absolutely not to cut out intermediaries, simply to offer investors more control over their investments. Further, you see confused about what DeFi actually is and how it operates. That's when you know you're not in an actual free society, people. This is why we always talk about actually becoming free, because I'm glad he pointed out the value proposition of DeFi is, as it says here, is simply to offer investors more control over their investments. Like, why can't people control their money? Why is this such an uproar to regulators in Wall Street for people to control their own, not even money. Let's take the word money out of it. Why can't people control their own value, right? Whatever you assign to people as value, wherever you give it to them in placement of value, why can't they control that? Why does it have to be a third party to control an individual's value? I just don't get it unless you're trying to do something dirty, which it looks like they're trying to do. And not only that, I mean, yeah, I just want to go back to, if we're going to be following laws and rules and trying to keep the same infrastructure as 200 to 300 years ago, Berkowitz, whatever your name is, I don't think that's what you want to do either, right? I don't think Berkowitz wants to go back 200 to 300 years either. I think that would be bad news for all of us together. So let's stay in the year 2021. Really, let's get ready for the year 2022 and stay in this free and digital age and stop looking at things trying to go back hundreds of years ago how they used to be.
I like having indoor plumbing. I'm not going back 300 years, but
you know what I mean, right? I mean, again, I tell you, it's like that Eddie Murphy joke. You pull her off a horse out the jungle, you dress her up. Hey, she won half all of a sudden. It's like, whoa, I found you butt booty naked out here. What's going on right now? And so it's the same thing. Berkowitz, come on, man. You should definitely be leaning toward the side of freedom. All right. Drew's that dude. Thank you for the tip. Putting that towards y'all doing an episode live from El Salvador. Keep doing your thing. Listen, I would love to do it from El Salvador. I feel like if I take that flight down there, the U.S. is gonna be like, you can stay. No, you can stay. Let's see. Julio, you said if Bitcoin becomes legal tender worldwide, then capital gains taxes go away, which means it could moon stock to flow style. Yes, possibly. I mean,
when people talk about hyper Bitcoinization, when nation states start accepting as legal tender, we've always said that's the start of it. Like, that was the shot in the dark that if there's no capital gains on this, where do you think all the big money is going to flood to? If it's no capital gains on Bitcoin, I mean, that's a no-brainer at that point. So yeah, you might see $10,000 days regularly in the near future here, 2 or 3 years.
Let's see. Lyle Gibson said Colonial might have to only pay for ransom instead of repercussions of the $1.2 million gallons of spilled gas in a nature preserve in North Carolina, when an initial report said only 200,000 gallons. Oh, so it was more to that story, and they're saying that's why the Bitcoin FUD is coming out, is to redirect the amount of money that, or amount that was actually spilled in that pipeline. Yeah, that's hey, look, I wouldn't doubt it, people.
Yeah,
I would not doubt it. You got to remember, this is I keep telling you, you're talking about multi-billions of dollars, trillion-dollar markets. Like the dirtiness is coming out. You're starting to see it. Again, I just want to talk about this real quick. The Community Exchange Act, the CEA, regulates the trading of commodity futures in the United States. It passed in 1936. It has been amended several times since then. The CEA established the statutory framework under which the CFTC operates. Under this act, the CFTC has the authority to establish regulations that are published in Title 17 of the Code of Federal Regulations. Here's my thing. Until we can actually like update the literature fully and throughout, I don't want any law from 1936. Like, I'm tired of this old 1936. I'm scared to see the minds of the people who voted on this in 1936, the people who are in Congress in 19, like, what else did they agree with? It wasn't just, oh, okay, because like we do our bills now, we don't just have a bill or we pass something in law and that's the only thing. It's usually a bill with like 20 different provisions under it that are all going to go into law at the same time. So was it just the Commodity Exchange Act by Excel in 1936, or was it the Commodity and Exchange Act? And oh, if you get caught lynching someone, you won't do anything but community service. I don't know what else you had in this bill, but it was 1936. It was, the possibilities were endless. You could put all types of stuff.
That's when they used to go niggas in zoos. And then they go do legislation in the afternoon. I don't want to hear legislation from back then.
Throwing beer cans at 8-year-olds on the side of the road, but filling out legislation the same day. Like,
Jesse Owens won the Olympics in 36. And that's back then. That's the time we're talking about, when Jesse Owens won the Olympics and when they were racist. I don't want to hear the rules from people, man.
That's my beef when it comes to all these old laws and all this other stuff. It's just like, people, this happened in 19. You can't even trust the thought process and decision making from this part of the day. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So when it comes to a digital future, when it comes to a more modernized future, I like how somebody just said it. I'm trying to scroll up. Oh, there we go. Litmo Crypto and my King voice. We're not going to take it, people. This is ridiculous. It's from 1936. Like, this is crazy. Jermaine Hugo said, this is free game. I appreciate the work you put in the field, for sure. All right, last couple of quick stories. Elon Musk is back in the news. Listen, shout out to Elon. This is how you get this is how you stay popping in the news. He is doing a better job than Money Mayweather. But Elon Musk responds to anonymous Bitcoin threats with crying, laughing emoji. That's right. If you didn't hear, anonymous had already sent a warning video to Elon Musk, basically saying, hey, you out here destroying people's lives. You playing with this Bitcoin game. We on your head top, right? This was one video, and it looks like a second video also came out, and the Tesla CEO brushed it off by having 2 crying, laughing emojis pushed out to the video. I think it's very interesting that he's mocking a bunch of hackers with a company of that size, because to me it says now your company can never slip. Like, you can never have any exploits, or they are on that head for real.
Well, that means he definitely got some good people working with him, because he has the confidence to laugh at him. But I mean, last time Anonymous put out a video, they didn't go through with anything. So maybe that's what he's laughing at, that they put out this video like they're going to bring down his empire. Seriously doubt it. But at the same time, hey, if something does happen to him, you can't laugh at the Anonymous and not expect it. So shout out to Elon as far as just being defiant. But at the same time, if you get hit, good riddance. We don't need you anyway. So either way, it works. But we'll see what Anonymous does. They put out videos before, and we'll just see if they follow through this time. Honestly,
I'm not hoping he gets hacked or anything like that. But yeah, it will be interesting to see if they do tag one of his things, like, oh, you thought you was invincible too, boy? You better get in line. What do you get in line? What if they do hack him or scam him or something, and he actually gets in line like that same day? They have to, all right, guys, release the Tesla vehicles. People are driving today. Like, don't do that. Like, come
They're gonna send him the address to his mom's house and be like,
Hey, bend thy knee.
This is another message from Anonymous for Elon Musk. We will continue to expose you. We will never rest. Our message today is that Tesla is basically worthless, and investors should run, not walk from their position.
Investors should run,
sell everything,
Tesla position,
or lose everything. Essentially, what we...
Listen, I will say it's like you said, they threatened him before and nothing's happened. But what I also will say is a lot of people Anonymous have threatened, something has happened too. So again,
I'm not playing with him.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Like you said, Elon definitely has the best people working for him. He needs to give them that pay bump because they definitely going after them for sure. Let's see. PFC Wells, Trek. What's up, Trek? Said, wait till someone run up on him. It's all fun and games. He's not about that life. Yeah, I mean, that's the other part about it. What he's doing with this Bitcoin stuff, I mean, listen, you lose the wrong person a lot of money, they actually might see him. But I'm sure, again, Elon Musk, I mean, at this point, he better have like 6 people in the background that look like they normal shoppers that work for him, right? Yeah. All right. Eric Brooks said, yep, the hack story is like a good chess move, accomplishing 2 objectives at once: disappear the pipeline spill from the news and demonize crypto. That is true. I wonder who's sending out, and demonize Russia as well. I wonder who sends out the emails, the tap on the shoulder emails. Like, I just want to know, like, what happens. People wake up Monday morning and it's just like, hey, we spilled a bunch of stuff out this pipeline. F Bitcoin Mondays today. All right, make sure you send something out. Who knows?
Hey, the PR team, they already know. If you need to blame it on somebody, blame it on Bitcoin. I already know.
I should have bought a lot more Lamit's billionaire investor on Bitcoin. What's going on with this story?
Oh, yeah. So just like most people, they have regrets because they should have bought more at first. Mark Leslie says here, the probability as more and more people keep using Bitcoin is going to keep moving up. Very simple, people. That's what we keep telling people. Network effect. More people join the network, the value goes up. And he's the co-founder and CEO of Avenue Capital Group. He believes that despite recent volatility, it likely isn't going away. Thanks, Mark, for saying what we've been saying for years now. That the market cap means nothing. The price means nothing. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Crypto's not going anywhere either. He says that while the price of Bitcoin could go anywhere from 20,000 to 100,000, the market has been established, implying it is unlikely to go to zero. He commented that his 2008 prediction that Bitcoin will hit 40,000 was based on institutional investors driving interest. And he also, as is quoted earlier, I should have bought a lot more. That was my mistake. And me and King often say it. Most people, when they get into the space, their only complaint is that they did not buy more. And anybody that's on the fence, that's kind of timid, usually after a year or two, they look back and they say, hey, I could have bought a whole lot more Bitcoin, which is why we tell you to buy it now. Sense of urgency, because it is scarce. There's not always going to be opportunity to buy it. But I do want to point out the fact that this is a pretty shitty prediction, Mark. Between 20,000 and 100,000. Okay, cool. Anybody can make that prediction, but shout out to him. Like most billionaires, they're going to capitulate. They're going to want to buy more. And when their money's in the market, it's a lot more liquidity, enabling Bitcoin to reach those heights that we've seen before. So shout out to him for admitting it. And like most people, they will hope that they bought more in the past.
Yeah, this is it's crazy, but I think that will be the same from everyone, not just billionaires. It's crazy too. We always hear it when it's at its all-time high, and then when it retraces, you don't. So right now, people, we are still higher than what we were in really until 2020. Like, really, this is before we hit the all-time high this year. This is the all-time high right now. So I'm trying to think about, like, this is actually crazy. So it's crazy to see the sentiment that has died down in the crypto space. And that shows you how many weak hands and how many uninformed people are out there and just looking at price, because the sentiment has worn down and we're still at the all-time high from like since 2020, people. Like, we're still higher than we were in 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. So to see the sentiment where it is, it says a lot about the market. It's unfortunate. But again, nothing has actually changed. And I say that because people always say, I wish I bought more. I wish I bought more. And it's like right now at 30,000 people, it's this combination of people are saying the project's dead or it's too high. And then as soon as it does get to 60,000 again, people are going, I should have bought more. I should have bought more. And like you said, yeah, I love his prediction. I think this year Bitcoin, like, here's my official prediction. Bitcoin this year will definitely be at somewhere under $1 million, but above $10. That's my official prediction right there. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Close your eyes and throw darts at the wall if you're gonna do that shit.
Right. Let's see. Pamela Parr says, when the government learns about the staking, the yield farming, all which makes bond investing pointless, there will be a crackdown. I hate to say it. I mean, I agree that they'll try to crack it down, but again, it'll be like trying to hold water. Because here's the thing, people who knew, like, no one thought about, well, I would say stakings, yes, it's been around, but yield farming, like, these are new things. Like, I keep saying that because as much as we keep saying the government's going to come at this, they're going to come at that, they're going to tax this, is not done building. So what's going to happen in 3 weeks when we think staking, yield farming, and all this stuff is the goats? I mean, and then next thing you know, we got NFT 2.0. We got staking to it. We have some new word I've never heard of. We're doing mooning. Like, what's mooning? Oh, you haven't heard of mooning? This is how you get the 400% back every 3 weeks, like, for sure. So it's just so much new stuff happening. The people are building things. Like, this is what people understand. If the market went to sleep today, the developers would keep building. Everyone would just wake up whenever they woke up to new projects and new products. The building is not stopping. Let's see. S1 Dub said, after the next halving, I can't wait to see Bitcoin go head to head with the US dollar in places like El Salvador and Paraguay. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Todd was talking about Owens back in those Olympics. Said, you mean when Hitler actually congratulated Owens, but when he got back home, the White House refused to even meet with him?
That's the one. That's the time period we talk about.
That is definitely the time period we're talking about, that we're supposed to be listening to the laws from that same time period. That's crazy. All right, and last couple of comments. Let's see. Jam said, most local channels, news outlets at once, different station, different networks, same narrative, brainwashing at its finest. Yes, that was like years ago when that video came out, with all the local news stations in the United States were all doing the same stories, reading the same words at the same time. And I think people got to kind of see for the first time that, oh my God, this is scripted. It's like, yes, local network stations are usually owned by 2 or 3 multimedia companies. So they're all getting the same emails.
Every time.
Yeah, all right. Other than that, that is the show for today. Did you have anything?
Nah, nothing for me. Happy hump day, people. Shout out to little brother. This is his birthday today. So shout out to him.
There we go. Happy birthday. Other than that, make sure you smash that like